Hello and welcome to Fur, Fins, and Feathers. This is our 61st episode, and today we are delighted to have two guests from the dog community, two sight hound people. We have Mia Speciale from West Greenwich, Rhode Island, and we have Samantha Ionata from Providence, who has a Basenjis. Welcome, ladies. It's good to see you.
Thank you for having us.
Thank you for having us.
These are kind of two unusual breeds that most people wouldn't recognize on the street. So we're going to start with with Mia. Mia, tell us about, you have a wire-coated Ibizan.
So
Tell us about it.
She's an Ibizan hound. I actually have one. I have her and her half-sister, who's a smooth coat. So they come in two coat varieties. The wire coat like her, and then there's smooth coat, which their coat is kind of the same length as Zumi is.
Well, she wants to get up and see us.
Yeah,
That's
she does.
Okay.
They're a very funny breed. They're very comical. They're originally from the Balearic Islands. Thought that the Phoenician sailors brought them to the island of Ibiza. There on the island, hunters used them in packs to hunt rabbit, and they were able to get food for the hunters, and during very tough times for the hunters, they were of great use. They were actually imported to the United States in the 1900s, actually from a person in Rhode Island.
From Bristol,
yes.
I believe.
Yes. Exactly. And from there, they've gained a little bit of interest, and yeah. I got my first Ibizan in 2017. It's her half-sister, and then I got her last year.
This is a rare, not a rare breed, but it is an unusual breed.
Yeah.
That is often not found around here.
Yeah,
Gosh. Tell us about that. How do you, she was a champion.
I finished her myself. So I finished her myself around here.
So that took a lot of traveling, didn't it?
Yes, it did. Went to Ohio, Pennsylvania, Florida, everywhere to try and get points for this dog. Yeah, it was quite an adventure, but it's so rewarding. It really is. With them being so unusual, it's so funny whenever people see them on the street. I walk them a lot. I walk them everywhere. Everybody always asks if they're greyhounds or if they're terrier mixes or everything. How you doing?
Oh, she's very lovable.
She is. Down. Dina, down. Good girl. Stay. But yeah, they're kind of crazy. As you can see, they do what they want. They're typical hound manners where they just, your opinion is not valid. It's all about what they want. Down. Down.
What are some of the activities that you do with her?
I do a lot of lure coursing with her. Other than showing, I mostly show and lure course her.
Talk about lure coursing.
Oh, it's so much fun. So lure coursing is a dog sport where it's kind of mock hunting. They chase or they attach a plastic bag to a pulley system on the ground, and it makes up a whole entire course that the dogs have to run through. It's based off of speed, endurance, agility, enthusiasm, and follow, so how well the dog follows the lure. It's a blast. The dogs they love it. It's pure instinct. There's no training that needs to be involved. It's a great way to keep the dogs in tune to their natural instincts, so we can see that they still have their ability and desire to hunt and course game. She wants to play with Zumi. But she's actually an amazing lure courser. Her first time competing in the open stake, which is where they can earn championship points for that. She actually won best of breed at a specialty over like 50 other Ibizans. And then the next day she won the open stake again. So now she just needs a couple more points to finish her title in that.
And she will be a lure champion.
Yes, a dual champion of both the field and the show ring. So she's pretty and can run fast.
And you've done quite well with her in the confirmation ring.
Yes, yeah.
Talk about that.
I love showing. Showing is my main interest. I'm a desiring professional handler, so I pour my heart and soul into showing my dogs off. Down. Good girl. Stay. She's won quite a lot, actually. She's won a lot of best of breeds from the classes when she was just a little not champion. She won over a lot of champion dogs. She continues to win a lot over top-ranked dogs. She's still very young, so it's...
How old is she?
She's 21 months, so she's still quite young.
She's not even 2 years old.
No, she's not. And she's already like halfway done her grand championship. She's nationally ranked right now. I think she's like number 15 or 16 out of all the Ibizans in the country, which is pretty cool for such a young dog, and especially for such lack of competition.
I remember when this breed was just starting in 1979.
Uh-huh.
I was, of course, and still am, a very good friend of Sue Viveris.
Mm-hmm.
And Sue had me this was about 1981 now. Sue handed me an Ibizan that I didn't know what to do with, but it was go in the ring and show the dog.
Yeah, I love Susan and Peter. They're actually the first people that I ever talked to about the breed. When I was very first interested in getting one, I looked at the Breed Club website. I went on to the Ibizan Hound Club of the United States website, and they were listed as a breed expert, and I saw, oh, Rhode Island? What are the odds of an Ibizan expert living in Rhode Island?
Excuse me.
So I emailed her right away, and we talked
and
about the breed.
They were very receptive to getting some help for you.
Yes, they were, and they reassured me that this is the breed for me and that I should get one.
Now we're going to move on to Samantha with a Basenji.
Yep. This is my
Talk
Basenji.
about your Basenji.
So this is my Basenji. Her name is Zumi. I got her from her breeders, Sue Kite and Jeffrey Gillespie. I picked her up in Ohio. She is my little sidekick.
She's a beautiful Basenji.
Thank you.
And she is a champion as well.
She is a champion. We just finished at her specialty at the beginning of last month.
Look at that head. It's perfect.
Right? She has those wrinkles. I love it. She has a lot of expression.
Does she yodel?
So I've never heard her yodel, ever. She is the silent Basenji. I mean, they're barkless dogs, but some of them are vocal, some of them do make noises, but she's very quiet. I haven't heard the yodel yet. Unfortunately, I want to hear it. I feel like it would be funny, but she's very quiet.
First, I judged, I don't even know, it must have been some 30 years ago. I judged a Basenji specialty match. Mm-hmm.
Awesome.
And there were about 30 Basenjis or more there.
Wow.
And it was in an auditorium in Massachusetts. And I went in and I started judging, and all of a sudden, everybody started yodeling. The dogs, and I was absolutely horrified. I had never heard that before.
That's so funny.
But that was funny. But they calmed down, and they were some beautiful ones. Now, I have read, of course, they've brought in some different stock from Africa, haven't they, over the years?
Yep, they're from Central Africa.
Central Africa.
Yep, one of the most primitive breeds. Very
and
independent
one of the oldest
thinking.
breeds, correct?
Yes, yep. They're very independent thinkers. They're both scent hounds and sight hounds. So a lot of people, not just for conformation, a lot of people will do like how they do different sports and stuff. They'll do the lure coursing with them as well. They'll do fast cat a lot, and they're she's a very fast runner. I'm gonna do fast cat with her soon.
What is that?
So it's when they run like they try to, can you explain it better?
It's like I think it's 100 or 1,000 meter dash, and it's like a short version of lure coursing. So they chase the lure just straight down, and they get timed for it, and they get like a speed, and you get your title based of like how fast they run.
Okay.
It's really cool.
What are some other things they do well?
They also, a lot of people do scent work classes with them and they're supposed to be really good at that. So I have another dog. I have a golden retriever who I'm going to start doing scent work classes with, and I was thinking about starting it with her as well. I think that would be fun. I would say for her, she's very cat-like. Like, she kind of just...
That's one of the hallmarks of their breed, isn't it?
Oh, I love it. Oh, she's the easiest dog. If I didn't know other people now with Basenjis, she's my first Basenji. This is my first introduction to the breed. She's my first show dog. I got all her points myself. I'm really proud of that. She's
and you
probably
should be. That's an accomplishment.
She's really one of the best dogs I think I've ever had. She's so easy. Her temperament with other dogs is fantastic. We actually have another dog from Sukhite. He's another classics dog. So his name is Bam. And he is just like her. He's a Basenji, but he's brindle. And
I was going to ask about your preference for color. I
love them all. I love them all. But I love the way that the red and white. I love their heads. I love to be able to see the wrinkles, and I think for her, like, her expressions on her face just crack me up. Oh my God, I think she's the funniest
She's
dog.
got a gorgeous head.
Yeah, she's just so funny. I feel like she wants to talk. But her temperament with other dogs and with people, my sister recently had a baby, and I would always watch him, and she would be right there just laying next to him, just hanging out. She's very relaxed. She's great in the car. We travel all the time to the shows, kind of like her. I mean, she's coming with us all the time. These dogs are great travel dogs. I mean, show dogs, they kind of have to be, but
still.
She's fantastic. She's great with everyone. At work, we use her to get other dogs comfortable with daycare, and especially puppies. Like, she's great with puppies. She doesn't get offended. She's like, okay, like, we're gonna be friends. Like, this is gonna happen. And then she does a great job. She's a great dog. I love her.
She is so beautiful.
She is.
Now, which one of you ladies got started in or trained in June with juniors?
I did.
You did?
Yes.
Talk about that experience.
All right. So I'm a huge juniors fan. I'm great. I love the program. I actually started in 4-H when I was 7 years old. I'm now 21, so it's been 14 years. So I started in 4-H when I was 7 years old. I didn't even have my own dog at that point. Me and my sister would share our little golden retriever, and we'd go to training classes. I absolutely fell in love with conformation when I learned it there, showmanship when I learned it there. I loved just how artful it seemed to show a dog and present it, and have to change the way that you present yourself in order to make the dog look its best. So I fell in love with the sport there. I was very successful in 4-H. When I was a teenager in high school, I decided, okay, this is what I really love. I want to get more serious about it. So I talked to my parents about it, and they're like, okay, you can try and get another dog, and you can try your hand at junior showmanship. So my first few shows, I used my Australian Shepherd, who's not even really AKC registered. I used him in juniors for a while, and he did amazing with me. I won my first best junior with him, and then I got my first Ibizan when I was 16 years old, and she led me to the world of more serious conformation. So I did a lot of juniors with her. We won the national or the breed national for junior showmanship, as well as many other awards. One of my greatest accomplishments from when I was a junior is I won reserve best junior in the entire Northeast for AKC out of, I think that there were like 80 kids invited, and that was like so thrilling. I also won a scholarship out of that, so that was
nice.
That was extra
That
cool.
helps.
That's
That's
another
awesome.
it's another great perk of doing junior showmanship and doing 4-H. If there's any children interested, there's a lot of scholarships out there for it, so it helps with the school. So
Which
that
is very important
yes,
these days.
School is expensive.
It was one of the main selling points of letting my parents or telling my parents that I need to get another dog because I need to get more scholarships.
Hi.
Yeah, I love juniors. The difference between juniors and actual confirmation showing is juniors is based off of how you as the handler present the dog to the judge, not based on how the dog looks. So you really don't need the prettiest dog to get started in juniors or 4-H. It's all about how you train and how much you present your dog. No matter if the dog's pretty or not so pretty, you have to show that dog like it is $1,000,000. And it takes a lot of skill to do that. Every single breed you show differently. I show my Ibizans differently than I showed my Australian Shepherd. I show my 2 Ibizans extremely differently than how I show each other. That's very different from how I show a Basenji. So you gain all that knowledge when you do juniors. You have to learn because you have to become a better handler if you want to succeed in it.
Now, I saw Samantha in the ring last week, and your performance was outstanding.
Thank you very much. I appreciate that.
You did a lovely job, and you won that. You won something that weekend.
I did. I believe I won. She got select a few days, and then she got best of opposite as well. That was pretty cool. And then we got best of breed owner handled, so we got to go into groups too. That was
That nice.
Yeah, that was fun.
Samantha, talk about your training center.
So we have a dog daycare. It's primarily dog daycare, but we also do training as well because not every daycare has trainers working there all the time as well as doing training classes.
And you work with your mom.
I do. I work with my mom and Mia. We all work together. We all work together. We all work there and we train as well. We have a training class every, I think, Tuesday nights. Tuesday nights we do both regular training for just people like with puppies and stuff. And then we also do the confirmation classes where we have a bunch of us who show and we practice how we would show in the ring and stuff like that and doing different acclimating to different situations. So like we'll have everyone go around and like we'll clap and stuff. That way they're used to noises.
Throw
And
treats on the ground to proof the dogs. We proof a lot. We use everybody in the class to get the dogs used to having people to go over them, all different people, not just the same person. I love the center that we work at. The thing that I really like about it is, like Sam said, we're trainers, and we're trainers working there. I've worked at a lot of other dog places where the workers maybe aren't the most knowledgeable about dog behavior, which can be detrimental. It can make or break a center. So the fact that we can recognize signs and body cues and the behavior of the dogs before something starts helps us a lot in the long run, because if we can see kind of a dog's getting a little restless, we know that maybe, okay, that dog needs to go rest a little bit, and we can go put that dog in, let it have a little nap, and take out another one. But yeah, understanding behavior cues is super important, and not a lot of centers have the training to, or their staff isn't maybe as well versed in understanding dog body language.
Sam, what is your favorite breed other than the Basenji? You've shown other breeds.
I'm very new to the showing world, and for the way that I am, I don't want to do it unless I'm very comfortable with it. So I have worked really hard to understand how to show Basenjis, and I'm really nervous about showing other people's dogs, but every once in a while I'll help like my friends. You know what I mean? Like I have our friend Dan Flynn actually shows.
Who came
border.
over and you introduced me to him.
He's awesome. He's like with us all the time at shows, and he comes to class as well. He has border collies, and I've been helping him show one of his border collies, and I actually finished her a couple weeks ago. We got her championship last week, actually, on the 4th of July. That was when she finished. That was awesome.
And I was there that day.
Yep, you were there that day. That was a great weekend. That was great. And my other favorite breed, though, I love French Bulldogs. I have a French Bulldog at home, too. And I have, actually, we've had French Bulldogs since I was a kid. Not even to show. Like, my Frenchie at home is deaf, and his name is Buddy. And
it's a fun breed.
oh, I love them so much. They're so cute. They're the best companion dogs. They really are. And she loves him. That's her brother. Now she sees other Frenchies and she feels like she knows who they are. It's great.
They're
She's
friends.
sleeping. Oh, yeah.
Now, the two of you will be heading to Vermont.
I won't be,
You're
sadly,
not going.
no.
But you're going
she will.
to
I am
Vermont?
going. Yep. I'll be going up Friday, I believe.
That's a nice weekend up there.
Yeah, I'm excited. It'll be fun. I haven't been to Vermont since I was a kid. And I heard that this show is a great show. A lot of people are actually going. Besides you,
I'm
unfortunately.
so sad I have to miss out. It's like my one weekend off, and I'm so sad I have to miss out on it.
I'm wondering if the Canadians allowed to come across the border?
No, they're not. Her breeder is actually Canadian, and I feel so bad because she usually comes up for like a ton of shows and a ton of coursing trials, and she's so sad because
So they
she can't
can't
come
cross
over.
the border.
Yeah, no.
I
feel
remember,
so bad.
because I had Kerry Blue Terriers, and I remember going to Canada several times and did quite well. It was fun.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Once the border opens back up, I hope to go there with her so that I can go visit her breeder again and get her Canadian championship, hopefully.
Very good. So what are your future plans with dogs?
Well, I love dogs. I'm currently at URI studying pre-vet, so I'm not sure if I want to continue on to vet school or go into a grad program. I'm still deciding where I really want to go. I also do photography, where I mostly photograph dogs and show dogs, which I love.
I saw some of your work online. Very talented.
Thank you. I
Very
appreciate
nice.
it. But yeah, other than that, I hope to be a professional handler. I need to get a new car before I start that, though, so I can actually transport dogs with me. But I love showing dogs. I love training dogs. So I'd really love to at least do that a little bit on the side, just so that I can have fun with it and
And what
spread my
about you,
passion.
Samantha? What are you gonna? Are you gonna breed your Basenji?
Eventually, yeah, absolutely. I think she is a wonderful example of her breed.
She's beautiful.
Temperament-wise as well, her temperament is wonderful. And I know that a lot of people who have Basenjis will tell you not all of them are like that. And she really is like, she's a great example.
She is just so calm.
Yeah, she's so cool.
she's. I live in the city, so I don't have a big yard or anything. Like, I walk her a lot. I walk her all the time.
Do people ask you what the breed is?
All the time. All the time. A lot of people haven't seen like a real Basenji, like a full-bred Basenji. I feel like in Providence, a lot of people have quite a few mixes and stuff. And they see her, and some people will be like, oh, is that a Shiba Inu? I'm like, no, she's a Basenji. She's a Basenji.
I'm sure you two ladies would agree with me that there is, and one of the reasons I do the show is people need education.
Absolutely.
I totally agree with that.
I had I wrote the pet column at the Standard Times for 25 years
Wow.
in New Bedford. And I hate to say it, but it was a very popular column because people learned a lot. And I reached out. And this is why I do this now. People they need knowledge. And there is, you know, you can't go to some pet stores and expect, they don't know what they're doing.
Yeah, that's exactly what I was saying about with the center. Like, people don't understand. You might love dogs, you might love them so much and love cats, but to love an animal and to understand an animal is completely different.
Totally different. Very good. One of a future guest that I've got coming in a couple of weeks started at Bristol Aggie in Dighton. And believe it or not, he was when I was a school teacher, he was a student who had just come from Portugal. And I had him as a student. And he went on, he went to Aggie, then he went to school in Stockbridge at UMass. And now he is one of the head veterinarians at UMass.
Cool.
In Amherst.
That's so cool.
And started, and he just went right up the ladder.
Oh, that's
awesome.
And I saw him a few years ago when I saw him. I went to do an interview at the newspaper, and he said to me, "Mr. Lowney, do you remember me?" And I said, "No." And he says, "I was your teacher in elementary school." He says, "I was your student, rather." He said, "You were my teacher."
Oh my God, that's so cute.
And now he's the head of some big vet program at UMass
That's so
in Amherst.
cool.
So you never know.
Yeah, that's awesome.
So tell us about, how do you train her?
Oh God, it's an everyday thing. From the minute I got her, I started preparing her to be a show dog.
Mia, what does she get for food?
What does she get for food?
How do you take care of her?
Well, I feed her ProPlan. She's on the sensitive stomach formula. Every day, I take both my girls for like 5-mile walks. I don't have a fenced yard, which makes it really hard with this breed. We usually recommend that people who are interested in the breed have a fenced yard, a high fenced yard, because they're very active and they need a lot of exercise and stimulation.
Do they get out?
Oh yeah, they're big escape
off.
artists.
They are escape artists. Okay.
They're known for their jumping. But if you're very dedicated, then it is possible to own them without a fenced yard. And I'm very dedicated to my dogs, so every morning I take them for like 3 to 5 mile walk, and then I come back and let them rest a little bit. Then I'll feed them. Then usually again at night I'll take them for another mile because they start acting a little crazy again. Then after I feed them dinner and after I finish getting back from work and having dinner myself, I'll train them, do a lot of show training, so a lot of practice with moving her legs to get her used to being stacked, teaching her to pull herself forward in the stack, moving, how to move at a nice trot without breaking it. One of her biggest things right now is trying to train her to not look at me when I move her in the show ring. So that's our biggest endeavor right now.
I am being told that Fur, Fins, and Feathers is coming to a stop. This is it. Oh. This was a very quick half hour.
Yeah.
You were fabulous, both of you. I'd like to have you back again.
Oh, thank you.
Thank you.
And we'll talk about some future aspect of sport, the sport of dogs.
Yeah.
Yes, definitely.
Both of you did such a wonderful job.
Thank
you, and we'll see you next time on Fur, Fins, and Feathers.